Good morning, everyone. This is episode 155 now, and Barry here with you. It's nearly 20 to 10 here on Wednesday, the 27th day of January, and would you believe it? January is almost gone. Where is January gone? Tell me about it. Well, quite a remarkable change in weather conditions from yesterday and now. Well, yesterday was a stifling 36 degrees, and my offsider informed me yesterday that it was almost 40 degrees, quite unbearable, and she took some clients to Maida Vale Beach, but it was too hot, and today we've got a much cooler day. Now, today on the show we're going to be talking about respecting the doctors and nurses in the hospitals. Now, most of you don't know this. I was in a hospital over the weekend. Not good, but I am back home now. And joining me in the studio, good morning, Rosa. Welcome to episode 155 today.
Welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Barry's YouTube videos. Um, Australia Day was yesterday, as Barry said. It was a pretty hot day. We had a few challenges with the client because it was pretty hot, but we got through it. Today it's a lot more cooler, and Barry would like to talk about respecting doctors and nurses today. So grab your pens, grab your notebooks, your laptops, your phones, and jot down any ideas or any questions that comes in mind. Once again.
Okay, well, our opening sequence is when you are in the hospital as a patient. Firstly, the rule is when you are traveling as a patient in the ambulance, please respect the paramedics. Here's my outsider for her opening sequence on this.
Yeah, that's correct. You have to respect the paramedics because they are the first point of contact before you get to the hospital. So it is very, very vital for you to respect them, listen to every question they ask, and give them the right answers.
Okay, and don't make up any stories to make them angry. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. They are here doing their jobs to make sure that they get the right information to pass it on to the hospital. So don't make up any stories, don't lie to them, don't make them upset.
Okay, because I'd like to give you an example. They attended a job in French's Forest. Now, a woman was dehydrated, but she didn't have to travel to the hospital. Okay, when it is a hot day, guys, use your common sense, drink your fluid, and don't waste the paramedics' time. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. I think that Barry did a video last week or last 2 weeks about hydrating yourself and things that you can do during the summer. Please go back and watch all these videos, and as that would have lots of information regarding hydrating yourself, using sunscreen, wearing your hat, etc. So just be mindful during this hot season to follow all these things so you don't have to call the paramedics.
Because I was waiting for a fair bit of time because I was in pain. Okay, and eventually they got here from St. Ives near where I work. Now, normally they would work out at our time, but they were based absent times at night on the job. So another rule is, guys, okay, don't swear at the paramedics or be abusive. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. Don't swear at them, respect them, give them accurate answers. They are here to make sure that you are well and safe. So please give them the maximum respect that you can.
And the same when you arrive at the hospital, treat the emergency department staff with respect. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. Treat them with respect because they are the second point of contact that you meet when you get to the hospital. So the first is the paramedics, the emergency staff is the second point. So you have to be very mindful to give them the respect that they need.
Okay, and if you are well enough to go home, please reserve the bed for someone else who really needs it. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. I agree with Barry with this point. Reserve the bed for someone who really, really needs it. It's just very important.
Okay, so what they will do in the emergency department, they will assess you, they will monitor you. Now, this will take 4 hours to do, and, and they will give you a blood test if need be and do some tests. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. So they'll do all the vital checks, which is your blood pressure, your temperatures, your blood tests, and stuff like that, so that they'll be able to figure out what exactly is wrong with you so that they can move on to the next step.
Okay, and they took me in and did some scans. This happened at very early in the morning, 25 to 6 on Saturday morning. Here's my outsider.
Wow, I'm getting all this information firsthand, but I believe that Barry is looking well and healthy this morning. So I'll leave him up to it to give you more information regarding his experiences in the hospital.
So, I was meant to come home on Saturday morning, but excuse me, our staff had come to pick me up and take me home, but things changed because I was in a lot of pain and I had to stay in the emergency department until the doctors decided what to do with me. A couple of hours later, I was taken up to Ward 5C, which is on level 5 at Northern Beaches Hospital. I was there on Sunday night and a half Monday, and I came home on the Monday. Now, to find out how all of this happened, sit back and relax. So, it was a normal Friday for me, and I went to St. Times Catch, did the bus, had some lunch, and then when I got home, I got really sick. The ambulance was called at 20 to 9 on Friday night or thereabouts. Okay, I had to wait for a while because the ambulance officers were attending to a job that wasn't necessary. And like I said, drink your fluids, guys. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. Plenty fluids, and Barry and I cannot re-emphasize on that point. That plenty fluids because it doesn't matter. you need water, and Barry has always said water is life. So, and you need other cordial. Barry is a very big drinker on teas, cordials, and water. So please do listen to Barry as he will give you more information regarding this.
And the ambulance came in and checked on me on the bed. So prior to the ambulance getting here, the staff made me comfortable on the bed and rang the on-call manager and advised them that the ambulance was coming. And so the two ambulance officers, they came and then they took me out to the hospital. It's better to be safe than sorry. Here's my outsider. That's correct. I'm very glad that Barry did mention that the staff made him comfortable before they did arrive. It is very important to let the staff know if you are unwell and we can help with first aid, or we can help because we all have first aid certificates. So we can help to get you comfortable before the paramedics arrives. And if you are calling an ambulance, like I've said many times on the show, give your name, address, telephone number, the name of the patient, and the gender of the patient. And the age. Here's my outsider. That's correct. That is on point. And your address and maybe telephone number when they get here, if they cannot find the location, so they can give you a call. So it's very, very vital information that Barry has given right now. So if and also if you are calling an ambulance from your house at night, always have a light on so that the ambulance can see the house and have someone wait for the ambulance. Here's my outsider. That's correct. You have to let someone wait for the ambulance when the ambulance get here so that they can get easy access to where the patient is. It's very, very important. Another thing is show the paramedics to where the patient's bedroom is. Here's my outsider. That's correct. So whoever waits, whatever staff is waiting needs to show the paramedics where the patient's room is, what sort of allergies they have, give the paramedics the patient's folder if possible with all the necessary information regarding the patient. So there's one last thing before we do go to the break, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the show today, be honest with the paramedics. Tell them what is really wrong. Tell them the exact problem. Here's my outsider. That's correct. You have to tell them the exact problem, what the issue is, what is your worry, if you are in pain, etc. So they are here to help. We all want to stay safe. So just be honest and respectful as possible. When you dial 000 and you need the ambulance, say ambulance. Here's my outsider. That's correct. It will give you options. Let's say ambulance, police, fire. Just press the one that is relating to your situation. So if you need an ambulance, you select the option that says ambulance. Now it's time to talk about treating the doctors and nurses with respect at hospital. It is very important to treat the doctors and nurses with respect when you are a patient in a hospital, and don't treat the hospital like a hotel. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. I agree with what Barry just said regarding that.
Okay, because like I said just a couple of moments ago, don't just stay in the hospital if you are not sick enough. Here's my outsider.
That's correct, because people that are sick may need the bed. So if you feel that you are getting a lot more better, it's obviously that you have to give the bed to someone who needs to get
And also, on your discharge, make sure that you have everything. I'll talk about the discharge from hospital in a minute. But the most important thing, guys, treat your attending nurse or doctor with respect and don't argue with them. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. I totally agree with you, Barry. These are all vital information that we all need to get to know so that we wouldn't make these errors next time.
And they may need to give you something that they may need to give you, and they may need to give you something that help you go to the bathroom. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. They may need to give you something that may help you go to the bathroom. It depends what your situation is or what your medical condition is. It may be a catheter, it may be extra help that is needed for you to get assistance in that aspect. So it's case by case, but you just have to follow the rules that is given to you, whatever the nurses and the doctors tell you, that's what you have to do.
And also, don't call verbal abuse at them. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. You don't have to verbally abuse them. They are there to help you. They are there to assist you to feel better.
And if you are well enough to go home, please go home. Don't treat Northern Beaches Hospital like a hotel, because there are other patients who need the bed. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. There are other people or other sick people that need the bed. I like what Barry said that you don't have to treat it like a hotel. That's correct. That is not your house. That is not your hotel. If you feel you are well, it would be fair for you to go home.
And if your condition deteriorates, guys, see your local GP, or if serious, dial 000. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. If it's normal, see your local GP. If you feel like it's getting out of hand, then obviously you have to call the ambulance to take you to the hospital.
And like I've been saying all morning on the show, honesty with the paramedics and the doctors and even the call taker when you call 000. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. So the whole process starts from the beginning to end. Be honest, be respectful, and be precise.
So coming up after the break, we're going to talk about discharge from the hospital. So that's all coming up today on the show. And also, I'll be talking to a psychologist today, so that's all coming up. So the time is nearly 10 o'clock here on the 27th day of January. And before we do go to the break, rudeness with the ambulance officers and the doctors and nurses will not be tolerated. Here's my outsider.
That's correct. So to end this, Barry has really dealt with it, and it's very important. I've learned a lot out of it, and we hope that you would learn something out of it. If you do have any questions regarding this as well, you can leave it in the comment section down below, and Barry would be more than happy to answer every question regarding his experience when he went to the hospital within the weekend.
And also, in the second part of today's show, we'll be talking about preparing to go to the hospital and your discharge from hospital. So that's all coming up on episode 155, which means 155. So don't go away. Ryder and I will have more after the break. The time is nearly 10 o'clock. See you after the break, everyone.
Thank you.